Hi everyone and welcome back. We're just about to head into episode 11 of TharnType. I thought it ended on it was a somber note, but really well performed bit of all four of the main actors crying over their heartache over one another. And I expect this episode to be a lot of angst because we're at the penultimate episode. So usually what happens is the friction happens. Something I'm not sure exactly, but I feel Tar is going to be a big problem in this episode for them. Long, I do not trust. I've said this before, that he's very sly. So I think he's up to something. I'm not sure how it's going to affect TharnType, but there was foreshadowing earlier of cheating or never wanting to break up. So I have a feeling one of them could either cheat or they're going to break up in this episode. And then, as we know, get back together in the last one because we know they're together because it's a season 2. Before we get started, please remember to like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to, you can follow me on Patreon where I have Theory of Love, which is on to episode 11 itself. Plus, coming up soon will be other reactions of a BL nature that will also be on Patreon only. Confront him, I'm guessing. What do you mean? Hello. Yeah, of course he's gonna hang up on you. He's a very small guy. He's gonna be very intimidated by you. The music was really loud. He really loves Thorn. Otherwise he wouldn't be so agitated. I get the feel, is he the same age as these actors? Because he doesn't look younger. Yeah, just take it. Yeah, but a lot of stuff's happened to him. Yes. Well, then don't gang up on him. Let them two talk. That's it. Yep. See ya. Yeah, I doubt that. Well, actually, we'll see. Look, he's panicking. He does a really good job, the one playing Tar. What did he find out? He has a right to be angry. You can't deny that. Long is always involved somehow. Did you though? Then again, I do actually believe him that he didn't beat him up. But he only cares for you. Well, he did love him, you can tell from just the last episode. But so you're not giving up. There we go. Well, you said you didn't do anything to him.
นี่มึงต่อยป้าเหรอ
So you lied.
มันก็เป็นผู้ชาย
He's really hurt. I mean, really hurt.
ไม่ถึงตายหรอก
Look at his eyes.
มึงใจเย็นก่อนนะไทย
กูก็เป็นกูแบบเนี้ย
I don't know, you seem to have calmed down recently.
ปากหมาพูดไม่คิดแค่ระยำที่รังแกเด็กอยู่เนี้ย
No one's calling you scum.
มันมีใครมองในมุมกูบ้างวะกูไม่อยากฟังอะไรทั้งนั้นอะเรื่องเนี้ยมันจบแล้วกูบอกไอ้เด็กนั่นไปแล้ว
Okay,
มึงอะไม่ใช่ของ
you
มัน
meant that.
แต่มึงอะเป็นของกู
มึงจะไปไหนอะ
ไปไหนก็ได้ไม่ต้องเห็นหน้า
It's also strange how he's reverted back to type of episode 1. Definitely wasn't like that before.
ไอ้ไอ้เบาๆหน่อยดิวะ
Oh, look at his long again. He's always involved when something bad is happening to someone.
ที่กูเป็นแบบเนี้ยเพราะเพื่อนเฮงซวยมาแหละรู้มึงก็คงจะคิดมากไปเปล่าๆและอีกอย่าง
Long isn't wrong,
ไม่ได้ไปนอนด้วยกัน
but I don't trust him.
นี่อ่ะที่ไหนไปต่อยเด็กม.5 หน้าหันดีๆนะไม่มีอาจารย์คนไหนมาเห็นมีใครถ่าย
Yeah, very true actually. That would
ส
have.
วยแน่
Yeah, yeah.
ใจเย็นหน่อยดิวะกูรู้ว่ามันรักมึงได้ที่มึงเป็นแบบนี้อ่ะ
But he has.
ไม่งั้นมันคง
Look how much he puts up.
มันไม่หรอกแต่มึงก็ต้องหัดใจเย็นบ้างปะวะจะลายได้ขนาดเนี้ย
Does that relate to you?
มันยังบอกด้วยว่ามันจะมาเอาพิธานของมันคืนไปไม่หรอกไอ้ทานไม่มีวันทำแบบนี้กับมึงหรอกมันรักมึงจะตายให้มันจริงเถอะ
No, he's correct.
เป็นเหนื่อยกูเลยเนี่ย
Yeah, but why go to you of all people? He doesn't really know you that well.
ได้ครับหลวงสุดหล่อยินดีให้บริการมีอะไรก็คุยกันดีๆแล้วกัน
มันได้เล่าอะไร
Oh, yep, he told him a lot.
เป็นของมึงนะไทย
You gotta move on.
ผมใจมึงมากนะ
There will be someone out there for you. He's the caring sort of person that I guess you want in a relationship.
มึงนี่ก็ร้ายนะไม่ว่าจะตอนไหนก็ทำให้กูปั่นป่วนได้ตลอด
What if he's not really
ไอ้หลงก่อนนะ
that drunk and he's just pretending?
กูนี่โคตรหึงเลย
Really?
ไปกินเหล้าทันทีมีแค่เป็นคนเดียวนะไทย
I don't think for one second that he's as drunk as he's saying he is.
กูรู้สึกแย่กูอธิบายความรู้สึกกูไม่ถูก
Yeah, that's true. Not everyone does though.
มึงไม่ต้องขอโทษกูแล้วมึงอะเมาแล้ว
Yeah. No, I don't believe
กู
that.
ไม่ได้เมา
Yeah, yeah, he's not drunk.
สงสัยจริงนะที่เขาบอกว่าคนเมาชอบบอกว่าตัวเองไม่เมา
Oh, that's not true. This is a really nice scene.
ขอโทษให้กูนะ
There's a lot of chemistry between these two. Plus the actors as well.
เพื่อนมึงแก้ต่างแล้วมึงมีเพื่อนดีนะ
Does he though? Because isn't this the same friend that told you about
ไอ้หลง
Tar
อะ
and made you think there was more going
เพื่อ
on?
นที่ดีที่สุดของกูเลย
Yeah, I don't believe that for one second.
ถ้ามีรอบหน้าวังตายแน่
Ah, so now it's the other way around. Now he's stroking his hair. That's a truly, truly sweet moment there. Is this the first time we've seen him do this?
อะไรวะเนี่ยฮะ
ตอนแรกกูก็คิดเหมือนมึงนี่แหละว่าอะไร คือเมื่ออาทิตย์ก่อนเว้ย กูเอาคลิปที่วงเราซ้อมอ่ะ กับคลิปที่เล่นที่ร้านพี่คงอ่ะ เอาไปลง YouTube แม่งมีคนติดต่อมาจริงด้วย
That's what he's showing him. Okay, that's pretty good.
ที่เขาส่งมามัน
งั้นกูบอกไอ้เต้กับไอ้สองนะ
ว่าเดี๋ยวพี่บอกเลยเดี๋ยวเราคุยกันเองก่อนดีกว่า กูไม่อยากให้สองคนนั้นมันดีใจเกินอะ
I think you should discuss this as a band, though.
ดีใจก็ดีใจด้วยกัน
Yeah, you shouldn't hide things from them. You need to stop hiding things from people. I like these little moments where you see the text messages come up. Yeah, why? What? Yeah, come on, that's a bit obvious. This man is trying to drag you away to do something. Poor boy, why does he always get put in these situations? Is that the first time we've seen him hit someone?
ถอยไปเลยนะ กูเสียเงินซื้อไอ้เด็กนั่นมา มันก็เป็นกูสิวะ
What do you mean he paid for him? Wait, what? Is he at the same place that Tharn's at? Yeah, see? Planned.
จะเล่นกับกูแบบนี้ใช่ปะ
But I don't get the feeling that it's Tarn doing this.
ไอ้ทานก็นัดกูมาเหมือนกัน
But,
หาเหมือนกันไป
sorry, but wouldn't Tharn just say that he was needing there Long for a scout? I mean, it'd be easy to find out that Long's lying.
อย่างน้อยทานก็ยังเป็นห่วงต้าอยู่
Doesn't mean he wants you, though.
ต้าหยุด
Just punch him.
ไม่เอา
If he's faking punches before.
ปล่อยครับ
ต้า
I still think someone's manipulating him.
ต้าไม่ได้อยากหลอกพี่ แต่ต้าไม่มีทาง
Yeah, see, I told you, someone is manipulating
ต้า
him.
มีทางเลือกแต่ต้าเลือกจะหลอกพี่ พี่บอกให้ปล่อยมันต้า
ไม่
ต้า
ต้า
อยู่ทำตัวต่ำๆแบบนี้ได้แล้ว
ต่อแต่ใครก็ได้
No, you're
ว่า
not.
มันต่อ
Man, what happened to
ต้ารัก
him?
พี่นะต้ารักพี่ทานนะครับต้ารักพี่ทานจริงๆนะ
Yep, here we go.
ออกมาเจอกู
มึงคือนายไทย
Also, their shirts always relate to what's going on in the episode. So think outside the box.
เราเลิกกันเถอะไว้ครับ
With one word, he didn't want to hear words.
ไม่นายไทย กูไม่เลิก
See, I knew something like this was going to happen
กูไม่
again.
เลิก
It was foreshadowed in a few episodes previous.
มึงคิดว่ากูต้องรู้สึกไงวะต้าส่งข้อความไปหามันบอกว่ามึงยังรักมันอยู่ถ้าไม่เชื่อไว้ขึ้นมาที่นี่
No, when did he tell you this? Because we didn't see this. Why does no one just put two and two together? It was you. Yeah, see?
ไอ้กูไม่ได้มีอะไรกับต้าจริงๆนะมึงต้องเชื่อกูนะไทย
มึงเห็นโง่มากไงวะ
No, you're not.
คนอีกแล้วทาน ครั้งนี้จัดฉากและครั้งหน้าเมียมึงคนไหนจะมาบีบตาสั่นกูอีกอะกูไม่อยากเป็นตัวตลกแบบนี้ต่อไปแล้วมึงมองกูนะกูเป็นผู้ชายมึงคิดว่ากูอยากเป็นแบบนั้นเหรอ
There's nothing wrong being like that.
แบบที่คอยไล่กู
Oh, that part, yeah. Maybe not that part.
คอยบอกถ้ามันจะต้องเลิกกันนะเ เลิกแต่ตอนนี้เลยไม่ดีกว่า
Why do you need to think about breaking up with him? Why is that even crossing your mind? You're together in this moment.
อยากให้กูไม่เป็นตัวของตัวเองไปมากกว่านี้เลย
Kind of reminds me slightly of Sotus.
ขอการเป็นครั้งนั้นไว้กูจะถ่ายที่ของไม่เห็นเหรอกูถ่ายที่ของไม่เห็นกูจะไม่เลือกกินอีกแล้วกูจะตื่นเช้ามาแล้วก็ปลุกกูทุกเช้าที่กูทำไปทั้งหมดกูทำเพื่อมึงไงครับ
This was beautifully acted. Not really much you can say about this scene apart from how well they did this. And this poor actor just had to sit there crying for a really long time, and it's really hard to do that. He must have had to really tap into some dark places.
กูว่ามึงใจเย็นก่อนก็ได้นะ คือตอนนี้มึงกำลังโกรธอะถ้ามึงคิดดีๆ มึงอาจจะยกโทษให้มันก็ได้นะ แล้วไอ้ทานเป็นไงบ้างอะกูไม่รู้อะ
He's hurt.
ฝากมึงดูด้วยแล้วกัน เดี๋ยวกูดูแลไอ้ทานให้เอง
What you've always wanted. He's noticed something there. And this music always introduces a villain. There he is.
คืนคลิปพวกนั้นมาให้ผม
ได้ เดี๋ยวจะส่งคลิปต้นฉบับไปให้
Yes, see? I knew he was involved.
ทำงานนะอะไรอะ
กูรู้ว่ามึงเป็นใคร
I mean, come on, he
มา
knew.
เป็นปีแต่กูรู้
I mean, he knew at the hotel you gave it away.
ไอ้หลงมึงเป็นคนส่งคนมา
See, I knew it. I knew something bad had happened to him.
กูไม่ตายง่ายๆหรอกกูต่างหากที่ไม่เคยทิ้งมัน กูต่างหากที่ไม่เคยหักหลังมัน
So that's the end of episode 11 of TharnType. I think this is the best episode of the show so far. I know there's only, well, 1.5 because there's a 0.5. It's a special episode. So I will obviously react to that as well. But this was a really, really good episode. I knew there was going to be a lot of friction. There's going to be a lot of conflict because it's just the nature of how TV shows, films, that's just how they go. But it was nice to see how everything had levels to it. So it started, obviously, we saw Tar being cornered by Type, Techno and his brother. And that wasn't okay. That was very bullyish in nature. But it's also a way in which Type expresses himself. I don't think Type's a bully. He's just naturally aggressive because he doesn't know how to do anything else but show his emotions through anger and violence, because that's all he's really known because of what happened to him. Now, there feels like there's a bit more to the story, but let's find out. We'll find out in the last episode what exactly is going on. Because I haven't read the novel. I know a lot of you have, so you know what's going to happen. I know they're going to get back together because there's a season 2, and these type of shows, mostly, until recently, you know, with the history series, usually it's a happy ending. And I expect a happy ending for Thon and Type. You can see that's going to be a happy ending from how this show is filmed. It was just beautifully shot as well, this whole entire episode. When it was light, it was bright colours. And when it was dark, it was ominous music. It was dark colours like blues, greys, blacks. And that brings in the audience and it highlights the audience, tells you what's about to happen or what has happened, and it gives you an emotional reaction. Tar was brilliant in this, and I feel bad for the kid because he still loves Tharn, but Tharn just doesn't feel the same way anymore. He's moved on, he's found someone he's truly in love with, and he doesn't want anyone else. And you can see that with Type too. I mean, highlighted throughout. This was a good episode for Type in the actor's range of emotions. We got to see a lot of soft sides to Type, a lot of hard sides. We got to see how he was feeling and how much he hates being possessive and jealous all the time, and how he doesn't want to feel like that. He just wants to love him. We got to see him stroke Tharn's hair when he was asleep, which usually is the opposite way. And we got to see his fears. And then they broke up, which was foreshadowing. We saw that was foreshadowing, because why would it be brought up when it was previous episodes? And very obvious. I'm not sure why none of them just clock or pick up on the fact that Long is lying. It's pretty obvious. All you have to do is talk to each other about the stories he's told, and you see he changes it slightly. And every time something bad is going on in Tharn's life, Long is always there. And how no one has picked up that he just happens to appear at those moments. He says the right things, he plants the seeds in your mind and lets them grow. And then he does that subtle thing. If you listen, he says Tharn's not a bad guy, or Type's not a bad guy, and calm down after they've argued. But then he'll listen and sit there, and then he'll say sly manipulative words to make Tar look bad. So the situation always makes it seem as if it's always Tar who did this and not Tharn, but Tharn gave in. Because don't forget, Long also told Type how Tharn used to sleep around. So that's always going to be in the back of Type's mind, because now he knows that his partner slept around, and you do think of those things, especially considering Type's very new to this same-sex relationship. And then we saw at the hotel, and Tar is really easily manipulated into believing his brother Tom is anywhere. As soon as someone says his name, he goes and follows them. I know it's a setup, but it was very obvious something wasn't right from the first moment you see it. And not just with the guy trying to rape Tar, because that's more or less what he was. He was selling his body, and he paid for him. And it's obvious that it wasn't Tar who told this man to take his body, and he obviously wasn't a prostitute. And I have to give this, the actor who plays Long does a fantastic job. He does sometimes a bit over the top, evil smirk and smile, but this is a character that is a subtle manipulator. And so those slightly dramatic looks he gives to the person works, because he's obviously a sociopath. Because he gets the enjoyment of inflicting pain on others and seeing their world crumble. Because he's in love with Tharn, and it's obviously a one-sided love, we get that, we see that. We just see how dark he is as a character. But why is he so dark? What has happened to him? Because he enjoyed breaking Tar down, which I gather means Tharn was truly in love with Tar, and that's why he wanted to get rid of him. And now he's got rid of Type. Well, for now, he's got rid of Type. And at the end, when they shot that scene where the music was playing and his camera was at an angle and it was a slow pan towards him and then a pan away, that was beautifully shot. Just the fact that they gave you a slight angle in how the actor was viewed in the image shows that in his mind, he is askew, he is warped, he is not thinking things through. And then it was pretty obvious. I mean, Tar was going to figure out it was Long. All he had to figure out was that look he gave him in the hotel after everything happened. And it's very dark. Long is obviously very deranged, very dangerous, and very damaged if he's willing to do these things just to get to Tharn. But I always said he was, well, not always, but he was a snake. So I wasn't wrong about him. But the actor's done an amazing job of letting you just dislike him immensely. And then if we're going to end on TharnType, the breakup scene. Now, I knew they were going to break up. It was foreshadowed. We knew that. And the cheating was foreshadowed. Even though Tharn didn't cheat, it was still brought up to warn the audience what was coming up, what was about to happen. It was just beautifully shot, the whole entire scene. It looked like it was handheld, and it was just 2 camera shots because of the way it shot between them. But it looked like they probably just shot in one angle and then shot another. Maybe they used 1 camera. They could have used double cameras. The whole entire part of it was just brilliantly done. Both the actors highlighting their emotions, just how tired Type was of feeling the way he feels. And then Tharn just desperate to show him that he does love him and that there is no one else for him. There was a lot of crying, which is emotionally draining, especially considering how many takes they probably did that in and how long the scene was, because that could have been done technically in one continuous shot. They didn't have to do different angles at all. They could have left it in one angle and you would have got every bit of emotion from that scene. And it was heartbreaking because they're supposed to be 2 people so in love, and this is what happens. This is an episode, if I was going to say, this is a beautifully filmed episode. It's a 10 out of 10. Because I don't think there was one single moment I was bored. The only thing that jolted me slightly out of reality, and these are very minute things that are not that important. I think they do it, in every single BL, which is when he picks up the phone at the end long, and Tar's already on the line straight away. There was no ringing, there was no taking a few seconds before someone picks up. It took me a bit out of that moment, but then you get straight back into it. So thank you for watching. That was episode 11. So now we just have 1.5 more episodes to go. And then I will tell you at the end of episode 12 what BL show I will be reacting to next. So look out for that. And thank you for watching. And see you next week.